Alright, and good morning. Welcome to the Coffee Crew Ride. Here goes the gang. I am just catching up to them now for an early morning ride. A little cooler today, got the long finger gloves on. And here we go. So this is the Coffee Crew Ride, Tuesdays and Thursday morning, starts at 6:15. Like dark and early as it is today, sun's not even up yet. But, I've been doing this ride for probably 9 years now. A couple other guys catching on here. 9 years, and this is the kind of the third route. It used to go straight right here. Well, originally it used to turn down this way we're going now. Then for a while there it went straight back there, but now we're back to this direction. The route has changed kind of 3 times since I've been doing it. This one goes out into what is now called the Great Park. A little bit of a kind of a fun little sprint through there because there's a bunch of roundabouts now and don't have to stop at stoplights, which is great. So I think that's why the crew kind of prefers this way. But here we are early morning. Just a note, some of this footage is slightly sped up just because it's kind of boring to watch guys pedal their bikes slow, so I cranked it up a little bit so we're not sitting here watching slowness. But yeah, so these stoplights are fun because it's kind of like interval training with these guys. I'm not one of the fastest guys here, as you will soon find out. So yeah, all these stoplights starting and stopping. Good workouts, that's why we're all out here getting a good workout in the morning. Now we're kind of merging over here and doing a little surfing through the cars here as we turn left on Sand Canyon. This is the original route from at least when I started about 10 years ago. But yeah, so it's already kind of strung out again. After all these stoplights, it tends to string out as they accelerate. And with this group of guys here, you can't let a gap open at all or you'll get dropped real fast. So that's why we're kind of closing down this gap right up here. Oh, there's David on the right. The helmet flashing guy just bought his wheels recently. Not back in, this is December. It is now February as I'm doing this voiceover, but so anyway, we're cruising down here, getting together. Pretty good group today. What, about 15 of us or so. It kind of ranges from 10 to 30 guys, depending on the weather and etc. So we just went under some train tracks, and this bridge up here is the 5 freeway. So we're heading out east-ish under the 5 freeway now, and we're about to turn right. So it used to go straight up Sand Canyon here, all the way up to Portola. Do a little bit of a kind of a climb and then come back. There are more stoplights that way, a lot more stoplights now, and all these new ones in front of us are new because all the new communities they're building. So we're going to make a right here, right there, going into the Great Park now. So Great Park is kind of a recreation area, a lot of soccer fields, lots of sporting activity area to do. Under that overpass there is where we're headed. Yeah, so we're cruising along out towards the Great Park here, and what we just got onto now is called the new and improved Coffee Crew segment on Strava, for those of you who are on Strava. So, like I mentioned, it was, with the exception of like one stoplight here, or 2 actually, just a bunch of roundabouts you go through, which is kind of fun because you see all the pros shooting through roundabouts, so it's kind of fun to go around them ourselves. So, usually picks up speed through here. A lot of the times I end up getting dropped through this section, but today was a good day. Look at this guy, he's got the Christmas lights on his bike, sporting a hat too, pretty cool. Right behind Edwin here is we're strung out, kind of moving along pretty good. It's actually slightly uphill here, so don't let the 22 miles an hour fool you. We're actually trying pretty hard. So we're going to merge left here, one more stoplight, and then it's through the Great Park. Now as we slowly ramp up the speed here, we get to see the beautiful sunrise we treated to this morning. And I didn't intend to go out front here, just as you can see I'm kind of holding my speed steady, but just carrying my momentum through. Everyone kind of slowed down a bit, so I just used my momentum, took me up to the front, and I did a very rare pull up at the front here. I don't usually do that, but kind of ended up here, so I just went up to the front and did a little pull. admiring the beautiful sunrise here in Irvine, California. We're treated to some pretty nice weather here, and today was no exception. So here come some of the guys pulling through. Clearly these guys are younger than I am because he has shorts on and he has shorts and short sleeves. So I'm sitting here in, long finger gloves. I have my leg warmers on, thick long sleeve jersey, and these guys are chilling literally in their short sleeves. But anyway, these guys are pretty strong. A couple of the younger guys, so they pulled us along for quite a bit. And yeah, actually we're coming to one of the roundabouts here. Gonna cruise through the roundabout. As we swing through there, these guys are kind of doing a pretty good pace. A little bit of an uphill here actually, and they're running 22 miles an hour, so we'll speed up a little bit and get through this section. So as we go along here, I'm going to head and fade back and let the whole gang fly by. So if you see yourself, say hi on the morning coffee crew ride. We got David up there with the flashing helmet light. There's Edwin. Been around a lot of years with Edwin there. Group's still together here. Usually it kind of splits up in this section, but got the whole gang all strung out, going around the corner. A little bit uphill here. I got a little worried when this guy got out of the saddle. I thought he was going to drop me, but just stretching his legs a little bit. I think that's about it. Maybe a couple more guys. Oh, yep. One more guy on the canal goo. Got Jim over there going up into the gutter. Doesn't want to drain in the gutter, but there's the whole gang. I'm in the very back now just because I have the camera. Kind of figured back here just to give everyone a shot. We're cruising through the Great Park. Here comes another one of those roundabouts. Fun to go flying through here. Maybe not today. The road's kind of wet, but. And then the gang is going to, of course, accelerate back up the speed. Up a little bit of an incline here. Kicking it back up to 21, 22 miles an hour. Yeah, it was a beautiful day, beautiful morning. Cool. Good day for a ride. Alright, now we're cruising down Irvine Boulevard. Boy, this has changed since I've been riding it. It used to be 2 lanes with big trees on the side, and of course everybody says that. When I was a kid, Oh, here's David again, so there's a good chance to talk about the wheels. So those wheels he has right there, I just recently bought off of him, because he ended up getting a new bike. Got a new Cannondale with disc brakes, and those are rim brakes, so I ended up buying those wheels off of him. Just rode them for the first time today, so they're pretty sweet. A little more aero, a lot wider than what I used to have. So, they're real smooth. Love them. Anyway, so we just now we're shooting down Alton. There's a little bit of a downhill here now, so you'll see the speed ramp up into 30 mile an hour now. I got some commuters going to work there. We're doing our little morning aerodynamic here, because the guys are moving pretty quick. And what we're coming up to here is pretty much the one fast turn in the whole ride. We're going to make a right turn up here, just over the railroad tracks. But normally I'd be up in the front, because once you take that turn, the speed just goes shooting on up to 30 miles an hour again. So it pays to be in the front, go around this corner, but I would happen to be faded in the back here, just so I can get my camera on everyone. Because typically what happens in the back is you get kind of an accordion braking effect as everyone's going through the corner. So you are in the back, and I think it happens on this corner. You'll have to up and sprint coming out of it just to catch back up to the group. So we're just cruising up over this is the railroad tracks here. Here's that corner I was talking about. I'm kind of too far back to Colnago here, slow down a little too much, so we're up in full-on sprint, catch back up with the gang. So I'm full throttle there up to 33 miles an hour. Catch back up and cruising right along. The group's all strung out now, flying down the road. Nice smooth roads here by this new business park on the left. A little bit older here as we get close But the train station, for those of you familiar with the area, that's the Irvine train station on Barranca. Flying by here at 30 miles an hour. And this is a nice light to make. We probably make that maybe half the time. But yeah, stop from 30 and then start up again. It's a good interval workout, I could say. Speaking of stoplights, here's another red light. And then, of course, they ramp it right back up to speed. My momentum took me kind of up into the front here a little bit, so let everyone get in front of me so I could get the camera on them again. So now we're going up and over the 5 freeway, back up and over the 5 freeway. That is Irvine Center we're crossing now. Again, if you are familiar with the area, but yeah, nice roads here. My chiropractor's right there on the right. Yeah, so you can see what I mean about interval training from a stop up to 27 miles an hour again. So here we go. That's why we do it, though. It's a good workout. And see, we're up over the toll road now. Still on Barranca. Made that light. So right about now is when people start peeling off to go to work and stuff. So you'll see people turn on Laguna Canyon, head to work. Some people cut it short pretty soon. Here's another good light to make this a Sand Canyon, back across Sand Canyon. That light, we actually only make that maybe 10% of the time, so it's really nice to make that one. That's a long light, too. It's like a 2-minute stop if you're sitting there, so. As you can see, they're kind of ramping it up here a little bit. You can see if you look on the speed graph, you can see the speed going up here, 28 miles an hour. Reason for that is there's kind of an unofficial sprint point at the end here. 30 miles an hour, as I say that. There used to not be a stoplight, but the next stoplight is kind of the unofficial finish line to a little sprint here on Barranca. And I'm kind of winded, that's why I'm kind of in the back. These guys are having a conversation going 30 miles an hour, so that's what I was saying. So as you can see, the group's kind of strung out. There's the sort of sprint finish right there. And as we go left, a lot of the guys will kind of go off to the right here and call it a day. So actually, that's where I started, right up there to the right. But I'm going to continue on to the left and do some climbing. So fast forward a little bit to University. Now we're going to turn right here and we're going to make a left turn ultimately and go up Ridgeline. It's time for some climbing. This is one of the few actual climbs on the route, and there's still pretty good group of guys here now, which is surprising. Usually it's kind of a little thinner by now, but it was a nice morning. As you can see, the sun starting to peek through there. So there goes a Mercedes, I think, revving it up. Anyway, starts off a little bit flat here, and then there's 2 little kind of kickers. You see the sun peeking through there again. First section's, I think, 8 or 10%. Not very long. Neither of these are very long. This isn't a very long climb. But just get your legs burning a little bit because the guys at the front aren't slowing down. So here I go up the first section. You see some of the guys are starting to fade a little bit here and head to the back. So I'm going to sneak through here. Fortunately, I can climb okay with them because I have the advantage of being a little more lightweight. And I also used to live right at the top of the street, so I'm pretty familiar with it. So we're coming up to the top of the first section here. Then this is pretty much the end of the second little kicker climb, and I am pretty winded by now. Starting to fade a little bit. The guys are taking off, and Dave and I here are just about to get dropped, but hung on just for the last second there. It's cool because when you get the whole group going through shady, it's kind of fun. Otherwise, you're by yourself. So I made it up Ridgeline for one of the first times in a while. Usually I'm tailed off there by quite a bit. So there's another guy kind of cutting the ride short or heading to work, whatever. Now we're headed down Turtle Rock. I used to live right there on the right. Actually, that was my driveway. See, that guy just going on super tuck. Anyway, yeah, so we're blasting along now, heading over the Shady Canyon. We're going to go through Shady and then up over Newport Coast, which is kind of the final climb of the day, a little bit longer. made it over now to Shady Canyon Drive. This is a beautiful drive. It's usually cooler down here. There's a park on the right, and there's an open area out to the left called Bomber Canyon. It's good mountain biking up there. But yeah, the cool air kind of settles in this little canyon here. But I was feeling pretty good today. I was able to stay with the pack all the way through Shady. So it was a good day. Actually, every day is a good day when you get to do a coffee beer ride. Love it. Legs stretched, your blood flowing early in the morning. Really gets me amped up for the day. Yeah, I love doing this ride. Keeps you so energized for the whole rest of the day. I don't know where Glenn came from here. I think his name's Glenn. Right. I think kind of meets up with the group wherever it happens to be at the time. So fast forward a little bit more. Here is the left turn on the Newport Coast. So this is kind of the last grind. I won't bore you with the whole thing. It's just some climbing, but this one's a little bit longer of a climb. And again, the guys are just gonna take off. I'm not gonna be able to hang with them. So that was pretty much the whole route. Up at the top, some of the guys turn around and head home. I'm gonna do a little extra credit up at the top. So I'll see you there. There we are. The gang is done the whole climb, and they go right and back down. I do a little extra credit and up to the top here. So this is called Vista Ridge. Kind of, maybe it's a half a mile grinder up to the top. I think it's about 10 or 12% grade. So it's, I like to get a little extra exercise in, get my climbing strength up. After that first kind of climb there, you've beautiful little flat section. You're off to the right. Actually, if you just look to the right, you'll see the Pacific Ocean's right there. This is the Newport Coast area. I think the elevation here is maybe 800 feet or so. And over this last little kicker, I think the tops out at 1100 and something. The GoPro saying 1200, so something like that. As I cruise down to the bottom here, you'll see Coastal Peak Park on the right. And off to the left is the upper side of Bomber Canyon, which we just passed going through Shady recently. So good mountain biking out there to the left, and also out in front of me. There's a couple of mountain bikers there getting ready for a ride. Up in the front is Laguna Coast Canyon and Crystal Cove Park, something like that. So do a lot of mountain biking up there. I just like coming up here for the view, scenery, smell of the fresh air. So pick the bike up here, show you a little bit around. That's looking kind of northeast-ish over the toll road out through the city of Irvine. So I come up here for the beautiful view, some fresh air, and that's pretty much my ride. So from here on, I'm just going to head home. Thanks for watching. See ya. It's not a game, it's a rich.